welcome back to the vlog. We have just arrived out in Jericho, Utah for round 4 of the National Hare and Hounds out by Cherry Creek. And yeah, I'm currently just chilling in the back of my van. I feel like it's like unnaturally hot outside. It hasn't been that warm at my house this week, and so I have just been sweating since I've been outside. I did have a jacket on. I don't know why. It's like 75 degrees. So I think that was part of my problem. But I'm chilling in the back of the van eating this Chipotle that I picked up on the way here, and it is a solid 10 out of 10. But yeah, so this weekend we have a Saturday race, so we don't race till 11:30 tomorrow morning, and it's looking like it's gonna be like 93-ish miles. Here's Ollie. That's my Chipotle lid. She almost got my Chipotle a second ago. Anyways, so we don't start till 11:30 tomorrow. We've got like a 94-mile loop. Well, 2 40-something mile loops, which would equal 90 miles altogether. And I'm pretty excited. Okay, that's so dramatic. Okay. This whole intro has been wild. So, I don't know, I'm excited. We'll see how it goes. Looks like we're gonna be in some sand dunes, probably some fast stuff, probably some whoops. I think it's gonna be a good day. So, there's nothing going on here, and that's the vibe. And it's kind of nice. How's the tumbleweed clearing going? Problem is I've moved lines like 4 times, so we've done a lot of tumbleweed clearing. Basically the goal is we're starting right here. We made a freeway right here through the tumbleweeds. I'm gonna hit, there's like a bush right here, I'm gonna go to the side of it and then shoot, you can't really tell, but like right alongside one of these trees and onto the other line. Come up right here, through these bushes I'm stomping down, through the rest of these bushes I'm gonna stomp down, to the banners, and then a hard left, and then out into all the choppy shit.
It's gonna be good.
How you feeling about my line?
Like it. I hope we move some more tumbleweeds.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh. Yeah.
What's going on? It's kind of loud. What's going on?
I'm trying to eat this yogurt.
Okay. How are you feeling about the yogurt this morning?
We are officially ready to go to the start. I've got an earplug in this side today, so we're really switching up the vibes. I've been listening to some Rob Bailey, so I think that's really going to help me out. We got our support crew here.
Right here. Yep,
we got a lot of family here today too. They're all outside, I can hear them, so that's actually kind of exciting. Yeah, we got some new purple gear on.
It looks sweet. Yeah.
It's gonna be a good day.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Got a pretty decent line here. I stole it from Jack, so I told him I'm gonna beat him off the line. He said that he's not scared, but I think he should be. So.
He should be scared.
Yeah.
Okay. What else we got going on over here? Got some extras.
Coming down to see her take the home victory, right, Rachel?
Yeah. Yep. They're gonna let me know if I suck when I come out of it. So.
Nice.
Alright, so that was the end of the vlog. Let's go over some stats. So we ended up doing 92 miles, which was actually very fun. The first loop was like pretty much as fast as you could go. And it was a little bit sketchy, but I will say props to the club because they had things marked really well. I feel like some of the times when you race out there, there's like a lot of ditches that you hit at like high speed, and sometimes it's really hard to read the terrain. But in my opinion at least, I think that they had it marked really well this year. And there was maybe only like 1 or 2 dangers that like kind of snuck up on me and then it got a little sketchy on. So shout out to the club because they did really good on the markings on the first loop. The second loop was super fun. We went up into like the cedar trees, up into some more technical stuff, into some not sand washes, but into some washes. And then at the end we got into some sand dunes, which the last 10 miles were whoops coming back in, which I don't love, but at that race it's kind of hard to get away from that because everything coming into the pits is super whooped out. So I think it was good. I think that they did really good. In the past I have not loved Cherry Creek. It's been like one of my least favorite races, but I think that this year I had a blast and it was super fun. As you know, we did 94 miles, I think. 92, I'm making shit up now. Okay, as you know, we did 92 miles. It took me 3 hours and 13 minutes to complete that, and I had a max speed of 72 miles an hour, which is very similar to Idaho. I think Idaho is 75, so pretty close, with an average moving speed of 29.5 miles per hour. Average heart rate was 164, with a max heart rate it was 182. So those are your main stats from the race. Another interesting thing is the total ascent for the entire race was 10,856 feet. So, we did do some climbing on the second loop, obviously. But yeah, those are the stats. If you have anything that you'd like to see from me, maybe like more during the week before the race, or like at the races, or even after the races, or like questions about the races themselves, or like my setup, or really anything like that, drop them in the comments. I would love to hear your questions. I think it's so cool when you guys like, comment, and subscribe. It's like the coolest thing that you could ever do. So you should definitely keep doing it. But yeah, thanks again for checking out the video and for making it all the way to the end. That's super dope. Yeah, once again, like, comment, and subscribe. Support the homies. Me, I'm the homie. Okay. Bye now.